Okay, this is part two related to the Pioneer Cemetery that formed in 1887 in Congress, Arizona. In the part one, after I downloaded it, was really curious. As I was walking out of the cemetery here, you could clearly hear a pick and shovel, somebody digging a grave, and I'm not kidding. And it went on for like almost the last 2 minutes of that video. So if you want to hear an EVP, electronic voice phenomena, it was distinctly somebody digging a grave. So I don't know, it was really weird. I didn't hear it when I was videotaping, but after I played it back, it's distinct. You can hear, this is a very rocky, hard soil, so you try digging in this with the shovel. It had that kind of sound. It went on and on, off and on for the last couple minutes. So now I'm at the back of the cemetery. The first part I was just doing the front. Now, many of the graves, they were poor pioneers, like in the 1880s and 90s. There are a few headstones out here with dates that indicate a lot of people died around 1900, 1902. But a lot of the poor pioneers, they just used stones to circle the graves. Sun's just going down. I'm going to ask a few questions and hopefully, see, in the part one, I was talking the whole time. So unfortunately, like the shovel sounds, the digging, was kind of, mixed in with my voice. But here's one really nice marble stone in memory of Joseph Viatti, born in Bisbee, Arizona, 1894, died at Congress, Arizona, 1897, aged 2 years old. Unfortunately, a few of the graves I've seen, they were infants. And you can see it's truly a pioneer cemetery. This place is way out in the middle of nowhere. And some of the graves are starting to erode down into a gully over here in the back of the cemetery. Unfortunately, there's a dry wash going through back there. This is all BLM camping out here. I'm camped up at the top of the hill. And just a word of wisdom. If you're coming up from Quartzsite and you take 60 to 71 and then you come into Congress, and I went into directions in the first part how to get out here off of Ghost Town Road. But if you're heading up towards Yarnell and Prescott, you take 89 up. But as soon as you leave Congress, about, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles down, you literally have to go over a mountain. And these are just hills, foothills. Okay, you have to go up a mountainside. It goes up 2,000 feet in 4 miles. So that's Route 89. Now, going up is one thing when you're towing an RV, but it's a totally different thing. I would not recommend going down that mountainside. Like I say, from Yarnell to Congress, it'll drop 2,000 feet in 4 miles. And I lost my electric trailer brakes last year on a mountain road, and it was near-death experience, literally. So I wouldn't recommend coming down, from Prescott to Yarnell and then down to Congress. Okay, there's another one. I think a lot of this ironwork was put in, in the 1900s. But it's a very cool place. You got prickly pear cactus, you got barrel cactus, all different types. There's the yucca plant. So anyway, I'm just going to not talk anymore. I did the front of the cemetery here. I just see, like I say, when I walked out of the cemetery is when I started hearing all the shoveling. So I'm going to walk back up to that area and see if there's any more sounds from the past, so to speak. There isn't too many campsites in this BLM area. There might be about 10. You know, it's typical 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off kind of camping. Now, the last video, you'll hear somebody digging a grave, literally. And I just left the cemetery like I just did now. And then when I got up to this area right up here is when it started. It went on for like 2 minutes. I'm not going to say anything now. I'm just going to listen. It was right around this area, right here, where every so often you'll hear a shovel hitting this whole, you know, the old gravel beds in here. I believe I walked back in here. That's where it started up. Occasionally, these old cemeteries, some people weren't wanted in the cemetery, and they had to bury them outside the cemetery. It wouldn't surprise me, you know, if it was an outlaw or whatever. I think this was the area where it started up. I was showing the flowers off that prickly pear cactus. And so who knows, maybe somebody's buried right in here. Any ghosts out there? Tell me your name. Say who you are. Say your name. Okay, I'm not hearing anything, you know, with my own ears, but after I download this, if I hear any ghostly voices or anything else, I'll upload to part 2. Okay, this is Eagle Eric in the Arizona desert, signing off.